Hi and welcome to my video channel. Those of you that know me know that I'm very keen on film photography, analogue, and I like to talk about it a lot. It's where I grew up with film photography. Digital didn't exist when I was a young man, when I was earning my living from photography. But enough of the waffle. I'm here to talk about buying and selling cameras. Not for profit, for fun, and it gives you a chance to try out all the different cameras. So first of all, let's explain that we're not talking about the really expensive cameras. What I'm talking about here are 35mm cameras, manual focus, that were created between the 1960s and the early 1990s, before autofocus and the plastic bodies came in. And most of these cameras would be metal based, and there is a huge amount of them. Nikon's have become, even their film cameras now, the prices are coming back up again to ridiculous amounts. Same with Canon, and you can forget Leica. Don't even look at Leica cost-wise. However, there are lots of makes that you can find that are still out there. There's Pentax, Praktica, Ricoh, Cosina, or just loads and loads. These are all 35mm SLRs. Now they come in different varieties and they come in different qualities. But just to give you an example, this is something I picked up in a charity shop. It's a Pentax P30. It's a fantastic little camera. I'll give you a demonstration of this on a video all about the Pentax P30, but just to give you an idea, what you get with a camera like this is you get a solid metal body, you get electronic through lens viewfinding, through the lens metering, you get a prime lens. Let's try and get a prime lens, because a prime lens, in this case it's a 50mm prime lens, which is f2. So looking through the viewfinder at f2, it's as clear as a bell, makes focusing lovely and easy. And then when you half press the shutter, the stop down comes in so that you can see the depth of field, and the camera will tell you if your meeting's correct or not through the viewfinder. They all do it in different ways. But the point is, you're getting an awful lot of camera for very little money. And you can take great pictures with them. Probably with a camera like that, when you bought it from a thrift shop or on eBay cheaply because the guy didn't know whether it works or not, you might have to do a bit of work on it. It might need new light seals, the lens will probably need cleaning properly, the mirror might need cleaning, but these are all things that you can do yourself quite simply. And then you bung a roll of film in the camera, take it out, take some pictures with it, make sure that it's working all right, and then you can put it back onto eBay or put it onto, like I have, I've got an Etsy shop now, and I can put it onto the Etsy shop for a fair money, for not a huge amount of money, but a fair money to cover my time, and I get to use the camera, I get to take pictures with it, and then I can sell it on to someone and say, look, these are the pictures, it's a great camera. So it's good fun, it's enjoyable, and there's a few examples of cameras that I've repaired and put onto the market to sell, and probably have sold by now. So with the different makes of cameras, as I've mentioned, the Pentax, the P30, there's obviously lots of different models. The ME seems to be the most popular one amongst keen amateur photographers who like analogue. Then of course there's the Praktica, and the model I'll be talking about in one of my videos is the Praktica electronic, and it's actually the B100, which is aperture priority, which is a lovely little camera, but we'll get onto that in its own separate video. And of course what I didn't mention earlier on, but obviously there's millions of them out there, is the Zeniths. There's the Zenith E, the Zenith EM, there's Zenith TTL, Zenith 11, Zenith 12, then there's later ones than that, but I don't talk about that. Really the last ones that we're interested in is the Zenith 12, because they're all manual focus. Again, fantastic, they come with a fantastic Helios 44 lens, which is amazing, f2, very clear, crisp lens, very well made, very solid. And all these lenses, remember, with these cameras are metal, and they're well made, and they're very well looked after. So there's all these cameras, you can see there's a Cosina, there's Chinon, which was made for Dixon's by one of the camera companies. But basically, get yourself out there, but have a look onto eBay. One of the interesting things with eBay that you can do is you can find out how much a camera is sold for. Not how much people are asking for it when you do the search, but when you put a camera model into the eBay search, then you can put it on the left hand side further down, as you can see here. You click on sold for, and then you get a list of the most recent cameras and how much they physically sold for. So because you might get someone who's asking £800 for a camera, but it's never going to sell, because you can find out here that most of them are going for about £35, £25, whatever it might be. But that's the trick with eBay, is to work out how much a camera is worth when it's working, because a lot of these cameras are sold on eBay as spares and repairs, and they're the ones that I like, because quite often, provided you read it carefully, you can find out which ones are probably going to work and which ones aren't. So as an example, if there's a guy selling a camera and it's spares or repairs, and he innocently says, oh, I don't know if it works, if you go and have a look at his other sales and he's got hundreds of cameras, then you probably know that he's a dealer and he knows damn well it doesn't work. That's why he's selling it for spares or repairs. But if you see one that spares or repairs and the guy says, I don't know if it works, I haven't got a battery for it, but it all seems to be okay, and you go and check his other stuff and he hasn't got any other cameras, that's the only camera he's got, and you can pretty much bet that that's a private sale, and in that case there's a good chance that the camera will work once you get it. So it's always a risk, but it's a risk worth taking, providing you understand how to play the game. Well, I hope you enjoyed my video. It's been fun to put together, and like I say, starting from now I'll be doing lots of videos with all these cameras that I've purchased and that I'm taking pictures with and then I'm selling on. So I thought, well, if I'm taking the pictures with them, I might as well run through, because there's lots of stuff I can pass on to you. I mean, do you know how to do zone focusing? I mean, forget zone exposure. Zone focusing. If you're doing street photography, zone focusing can make your life much easier, remembering we're using manual focus cameras. So, thank you for watching. Keep your eye on my subscription, because I will be updating regularly now with no new cameras.